Hey guys, it's Julia, designer at the Quilted Cow, and today's tutorial is on the Honeys Topper. Before we begin, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Husqvarna Viking sewing machines, Creative Grids rulers, mats, and rotary cutters, and Wilmington prints. Let's begin with the first step. The helpful Heifer Honeys Topper is one of my favorite toppers. It's extra big, measuring in at 20 inches. It's great for all of your table accessories. You can find this kit in our monthly subscription boxes or on our Facebook Lives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You can also find this kit on our website at thequiltedcow.com. Let's begin with the first step. The first step after you have all of your pieces cut out is to take a ruler and draw a line from diagonal to diagonal, and we're going to make some half square triangles. So I'm going to use my Creative Grids ruler and just match up my points. And just draw a line. I'm going to repeat this for all of my A fabrics and all of my C fabrics. And then we'll match them up with their partners in just a few minutes. Once you have all of your lines drawn on your half square triangles, it's time to partner them up. So we're going to place our fabrics right sides together, and we're going to make 2 AC squares, 2 BC squares, and 2 CB squares. So once you have your fabrics, lay them all out in order. So I have my A's, my B's, my C's. And I'm just going to place them right sides together and put pins in to hold those in place. Once my pins are in, we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on both sides of the line that we just drew, and then we'll cut on the line. So let's go sew. Once you have your seams sewn on both sides of your line, the next step is to remove your pins, and then we're just going to cut right on the line that we drew. Once all of your pieces are cut out, we need to step to our ironing surface, and we're just going to press all these open. Once you have all of your pieces pressed open, I'm going to use my Creative Grids 4.5 inch ruler, and we're just going to square up all of the half square triangles. So the easiest way to do that is just to place it right in the middle, lining up your black line right on the line where the fabrics are divided. And I'm just going to cut the top and the side pieces both off. And then I'm going to turn my half square triangle around. And I'm going to even it up so it measures 4.5 inches on the ruler. And then my left side is nice and flush with the edge. This will give you perfect half square triangles every time. Go ahead and square up all of your half square triangles just like that. Okay, once you have all of your half square triangles squared to 4.5 inches, you're ready to go. You need to follow the image on your pattern to help piece everything together, matching them up in sets of 2 and then making rows from there. Once you have all of your blocks sewn into groups of 2, we're going to go and press them. Now you can press them whichever way you would like. I like to press them so each row goes in alternating directions, so that way they nest really well. So once you have all of your pieces pressed, the next thing we're going to do is start forming our rows. So make sure that your pieces are all facing the correct direction, following the image on your pattern, and we're just going to place them right sides together. And we're going to sew right on that 1/4 inch line. Once you have your rows all sewn together, the next thing we're going to do is just press them. Once all of your rows are pressed in the direction you like, the next thing we're going to do is to line them up so we can piece our rows together. So I always like to go through right where my seams meet and make sure that my fabrics are hitting right where they need to. And if you're pressing in opposite directions, everything should nest perfectly right here and fit nice and flush. Do this for both sets all the way across. And then we'll sew our rows into groups. And then we'll sew our groups together into the center square. Now I have the center of my topper pieced together. What I'm going to do is to press the center seam open because it gets pretty thick right there in the center. So I'm just going to press this whole seam in the middle open. Once you have the center of your topper nice and pressed, the next thing we're going to do is start adding our borders. Now we have cut our borders just a little bit larger on this kit, so you can trim them down, or if you would like, you can leave them a little larger and make your topper a little bigger. So what we're going to do is start with our shorter pieces, and we're going to line them up right on the sides and pin or clip those in place. Once you have your sides ready, let's step to our machine and sew those in place. The next step after you have your sides put on is we're going to press those away from the center of our topper. So I'm just going to flip that line over and then just press it out towards the border. You'll repeat that on the other side. Next, we'll turn our topper, and then it's time to assemble the top and the bottom pieces as well. So once again, we're just going to line it up on both the top and the bottom, and then just pin or clip them in place. Repeat for the other side. Once everything's pinned or clipped in place, we're going to step to our machine and sew our final seam for the top of the topper. Let's sew our 1/4 inch seam. I have my top and bottom sewn, so I'm going to press it the same way I did my sides. Just lay it on your pressing surface and flip it over. Once again, pressing towards your border. Once you have the top of your topper completely pressed flat and everything's nice and in place, the next thing we're going to do is to trim our topper down to size. So I'm going to use my large Creative Grids ruler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my ruler so I have 2 inches of my border. If you'd like your border a little bit bigger or you want your topper larger, just square it up. But I'm going to place my 2-inch mark right where my center meets my borders, and then I'm just going to trim off all the extra border pieces. Repeat that for all 4 sides. Once you have your topper nice and square, the next thing to do is to layer it with batting and backing and quilt as desired. And then you can bind it however you wish. This is the Helpful Heifer Honey's Topper. It's once again part of our subscription box. If you're making the Helpful Heifer Honey's Topper, you'll have extra fabric, so you can also make the Susie's Satchel from the subscription box kit as well. If you'd like any of these patterns or kits, you can find them at our website at thequiltedcow.com or on our Facebook Lives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Please like and subscribe for more tutorials, and thanks for watching.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, rulers, rotary cutters, and mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.